Yes, what is up, people? I promise you I would make a video on how I make my drums. I know I've already done this with a lot of you guys, but nonetheless, we're here to make some more. So, as all good drums sample or drum start is with usually a kick loop. So I've just grabbed this one. High end kick already. Got to be wary of too much high in your kick, so just take a little bit of that out. And we'll grab some snares. Let's see. Whatever that'll do. Riveting stuff. Straight off the bat, I kind of do this unconsciously now, but EQing everything, low cutting everything, as you can see. And we'll get some hats in. Low cut again. Now I'll probably look for some more like sizzly hats that we got this groove going. This is like a nice little groove driver here. So we'll find something a bit more open. So we go like top loop, something like that, or like. Yeah, exactly. And once again, just low. Maybe another top loop of some description in there would be nice. Something that's different sound to the current ones. This one's very sizzly. And this one here is very organic. Sounds like a real hi-hat. Probably want something kind of in between these two. Chop this up into quarters. I don't know, I've just decided in my mind I don't really like that snare. Could work. Just a bit muddy, lacking high end, or you could always just layer it with something like this that's going to give it a bit more tail. Let's see, this is what I was telling some of you guys over the last couple of weeks or so. Like generally I'll have one layer of my snare doing the main body work, kind of like you can see here this fundamental. That's kind of what I mean by body. And then I'll have another layer doing the tail, something like that. And as you can see, like I've taken out the transient of the tail layer, so that's how it usually looks, but I take it out so they're not colliding, these two transients. Get used to looping snares because it's going to be your new life. Let's call this snare body tail, and group my snare together like so. It's Let's make it all the same color. If you right click on the group, you can assign the track color to all the group tracks and they come all the same color, which is nice. Organized. Alright. So this main layer here, it's already got quite a lot of attack to it, but I think it rings out probably a bit too long. So what I'm going to do is get a kilohertz transient designer, so I'm going a bit fast, which is a free plugin. You guys should have downloaded this by now. I've been telling you all to get it. So get it. And I'm going to bring the sustain down. Maybe a little bit of attack. And this is honestly just kind of trial and error. Like you can see then, like before, this snare sounded a bit too short. This sounds a bit more natural. So, copy them out. I might end up replacing the body of this snare. I just don't think I really like it. I might actually change this out now. Oh shit, that's me. Where's my splice? There it is. Cool. Let's go look up snare. It's kind of nice. Nice body. Let's grab this, see if it works. Pull this over here. Sorry, I'm going quite quick. But I've essentially just taken the same processing I had on this other layer that I'm not going to use now. Get rid of that and put it on here. Kick is very long as well. Quite long. I think we need to shorten this kick up a bit. Oh, sorry, I forgot a step on this. So with the tail layer, you can still see that the fundamental there. We need to get rid of that fundamental because we are getting the fundamental from this other layer, that one. So we don't want these two conflicting. Could be why it was sounding hell shit before. Whoops. Transient shaping this tail layer now. Trying to find another snare body layer. Not really liking it. Maybe. Let's try it. Like I tell you guys, there's only one way to make good drums, and that's to fuck around and find out, baby. See, that's not it. Shit. Let's go. Snares are literally probably the worst part, and whenever we go on a lesson, I make it kind of seem a lot easier than it is. So this is the Cientello snare apparently. Fucking hell, it scared the shit out of me. I don't know if you saw that in the background. Fucking post it just fell down. That's a bit more juicy. Like it. Still feel like we could use a bit more tail though. Get a third layer. Call it tail 2. Oops. And something that rings out a bit more. Could go back here. Grab the tail of that, or even that other snare we had before had a nice tail to it. This one. Let's try this, and we'll drop it. Might be too long. It's kind of a bit of just fucking around. Sounds nice, I think. Let's see. Yeah. This is a very synthetic snare. I think it's got to be kind of short. It's going to sound weird. We'll glue the whole snare group together with some more transient designing. It's not sounding very dance-y at the moment, but anyway. The principles remain the same. I don't know about this kick now, because this is like a more dance-y kick. So we might get something to match these kind of synthetic snares. Might go the scantier pack, because that's a lot more synthetic. And that's kind of nice. Let's listen to this. Only shit thing about is it's got. Only shit thing about this kick is it's got this hat on top. Nice, but it's got that. It's got that hat. If it was landing on every like bar, but because it's like you can hear it when it lands on the offbeat, it sounds quite off. So we'll probably have to use this one, shorten this. Ooh, it's quite a big boy. I've used this kick a lot. So here's like a little trick I do sometimes. Gives you a bit more swing. It depends what sort of vibe you're going for. So you place the kick like so. So one on the first beat, and then one is I guess it's on the what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th, 8th. There, you can follow it. But instead of having the next kick land on the bar again, you can delay it an 8th, and it gives it a nice swing. So I'll show you how it normally sounds, and then with the delay. So let's have a listen. So if we do the delay on the 8th, it sounds like this. You get the feel, it's like a different sort of swing. And it's really like just a case by case sort of choice if you want to do that or not. I've been doing it a lot recently. I don't know why. I just feel like it gets me bobbing a bit more. So now we got like kind of like a basic pattern down. There's probably a point where I would group everything. So I'll group the hats first. Call it hats. Same thing again. Assign the track color to all the tracks. And then let's go Command G, group everything, and rename it drums. I also I transient shaped each layer of the snare and also the group. I also want to transient shape my drums a little bit, the kick. Sorry. So get the transient shape again. Drop it on the kick and a little bit of attack and less sustain because I want that kick to be really short. A little bit too much high end again. And good old sausage fattener is going to clip all of the drums so they're not clipping us. Yeah, it's going to clip them so they don't clip in the master. So at the moment, you can see we're clipping 3.19 dB. If we chuck sausage fattener on the group, clipping magic. Bit of. I'm going to do the exact same on the kick as well. Because sausage fattener can sometimes start sustaining the sounds a bit longer. So if you listen here. Kind of is distorting the kick a little bit, so you can kind of bring the sustain back down on the kick. Might not even need sausage fattener on the kick, I'm not sure. And then we want sausage fattener on the drums, the whole group. Drums can be turned down a bit. Probably the last thing I do before you go a bit further is a bit of sidechain the kick from the hats to the kick and snare. So we want to the kick and the snare. So once again, another plugin I think I've shown most of you guys before is Kickstart 2. So I'm going to drop 2 of these on to the hats and we solo the hats now, we'll turn off one of these. All we are going to do is go to the sidechain, click on the kick, and change it to audio. Same thing with the snare. But it has to be to like the actual channel, like the body channel. We'll do that one. It's probably the best one. So we'll put it to the body channel. And now I'm just going to play with the mix. We don't want it like fully ducking, because 100% is going to fully duck it to the kick and snare. Whereas we don't want the hats to be that ducked, because it's just going to sound weak in the mix. So probably about 40. Use that ear. Sorry, that's off now. And this is back on. Yeah, it sounded pretty fat. I go on about this plugin all the time, and I know some of you guys have got it now, which is great, but to you who haven't got it, highly recommend. It's basically just going to up your game a lot faster than the rest if you do have it. So it opens up like this anyway, and you have this visualizer here on the side, and we're just trying to get that in the center so it's nice and big. So I'm going to go to settings and rotate it. And now, as you can see, it's in the middle, which is nice. It's also got this really handy reference tool, and if you select DNB hard, it'll give you a curve, and this is essentially just showing you where your sounds in a track should be sitting. So we'd probably like need to turn stuff up and add more layers. You can see immediately, like with the hats, there's a gap, kind of around that 1K area. So I'd be looking for a hat now that's going to fit that area, and what I'll do is I'll leave my vision up, make it a bit smaller, and now we'll find a hat that's going to fill out that area. So still kind of, we already have that area sort of filled, so it's not really what we're looking for. This is probably not going to be the right area either. Let's just go top loop, something like that. That's kind of more what we're looking for. It's not really the right rhythm. These samples all seem to be in that exact same range. Strange. I mean, weird. That could maybe work. I think I've used this before, but fuck it. You can see there it's filling out that range we're kind of looking for. Let's put a transient designer on this. Sounds a bit... Sorry guys, I keep forgetting that I need to stop the audio to talk. It's looking a lot better though. If we turn this off, I think we would need something that's going to emphasize the quarters a bit more, like going like so let's find something like that. Hats like this are really good because they're very noisy. You can see it fills out a lot of space. So if you're really struggling for filling out the high end, noisy hats like this can be really good. This hat here is a bit ticky for me, so I'm going to get a transient designer and take the attack down on it. So I'm just shortening this kick even more because it's just a bit too bassy and distorted. One other cool thing you can do with your hats as well, which I forgot to mention, is just like panning them. So let's make this one the central one. But maybe this noisy hat we can pan to the right a little bit. Actually not the biggest fan of that, but maybe that one there is nicely panned. And we can pan this one to the right. Getting there now, but I like to put a EQ on my whole hat group, just in case there's around here where we're in the 600 hertz. Like, you don't really need hats bouncing around in there, so just a nice little low cut around about there. maybe boost that area that we were lacking a bit, or we could find another sound. I might just shorten all these hats a little bit on the main group as well. And yeah, you can kind of see like my process. I am essentially just EQing and transient designing nearly everything, and then doing it to the groups as well. Like I've done that with literally everything. Like with this snare as well, like we can put an EQ on it. Because all this under here, if we listen in, no one's gonna hear that in your track. It's pointless, and it's just gonna take up space in your mix. What the fuck? So yeah, when you're EQing, let's just EQ anywhere that's not gonna interfere with this fundamental, which is this guy here. So make sure you low cut before that. Don't take any of that out, because that's going to really damage the punch of your snare if you're taking that out. Cool. How long are you going? So maybe we'll go over how we can make this loop 16 bars, because what we got at the moment, we have got a 4-bar loop here. And if you're listening to music, you don't want to listen to this 4-bar loop repeat itself over and over again, because you're going to get very bored. Technique I've showed you guys, and you're probably sick of me saying it, but the ABAC technique. So we want to separate this 16-bar loop into 4s, like we have 4, 4, 4, 4. This will be A here, B, A, and C. Cool. So what we're looking to do then is, like, this first 4 bars, we're going to need some sort of fill at the end of these 4 bars, and then we're going to need a different fill at the end of these 4, and then this is going to be the same as the first, and then this is going to be different. So anyway, we'll add an audio channel, group it, and we'll call these fills. So, and now let's just, like, I don't know, you could do a lot of things. Like you can do a little ghost snare, for example. Maybe we'll try that. So we get another snare, like a at the end. Like here could be bop, 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 bop. So an easy way to get ghost snares is you get a break, and then you get the ghost snare from this break. You just cut it out. Alright, let's just get this one. So I've done that pretty quick, but I've just taken the ghost snares out of this loop. So you can hear in this loop it goes like boom, bap, bap, ba-dum, bap. You want those bap, ba-da, bap, ba-da. They're like the ghost snares. So I've just taken this from that. So this is, I think you get the gist. So we want to really like make this nice and neat though, so it sounds like it's part of the existing track. So let's get some fades in there. Sorry, I went a bit quick then. So as well as fading, if you go into the clip and you want to make it shorter, you can change your transient mode here to whatever this setting is, and this allows you to shorten it. So if you listen to this, and as I pull this 100 down here, you'll hear it get shorter. Cool, that'll do for like a part. So now we could do something similar. We can still use these in the next part, but we need some sort of variation. So maybe instead of this at the end, we can get some tom drums instead. Call this snare fill 1 tom. So let's see what we got. Very nice toms. So we'll grab them. Cool. So if we have a listen now, we have an A and B. So that's B because it's different to A. And now obviously the next thing we do is A again. So just copy this first 4 over. And obviously the last thing we need to do is make C, which is going to be completely different to the first 2 we've made, or 3 we've made. Sometimes like just getting a break again can be fun to do for the last. Don't mind that last one. Don't know if this will work, but let's have a listen. It's a bit too jagged, so we'll try something different.
Break it down like down like down like down like down. Break it down like.
Oh no, fuck it, let's try a vocal.
Break it down like down like down like. Down like down like down like. Down like.
Yeah, like you can use anything to do ABAC, so we could do this vocal if we wanted. Could work. I don't mind it. Maybe we could do a longer tom roll as well. Break it down like something like that. Don't like. Kind of got something. It's good enough for an example, I think. Like, obviously, this might not be how you finish doing your fills, but it's a good way to show how I do mine in the ABAC format. I would probably sidechain my fills to the kick and snare as well, just so the kick and snare are like the loudest element of the track. One thing I haven't done on any of these yet is EQ, so let's EQ them all quickly. It's also transient design at the snare. Cool. Same again. I've already EQ'd. Did I EQ the tom? No. I accidentally just put that transient shape on the whole group, so that's supposed to be for the snare. Tom, EQ that too, taking out the lows. And finally this vocal. Tom 2. EQ that. Done. And now you've got some good drums to start cooking a track with. Like, I don't know, you could easily like make some sort of dirty foghorny shit from this pretty quickly. Let's have a look. See what we can cook. Making drums is fun. Some sort of foghorny dirty shit. I think it needs. Alright, I won't go into fucking making a whole track now, but I'll stop the recording. We'll play these drums one last time, and don't think there's much else I'd really do yet. Maybe a bit of compression on the drum group, just taking off major transients. Something like that, and maybe a bit of saturation. And that would probably be where I'd leave it. Cool, let's have a listen. So with the whole group, you've got the variation now and everything. This is how it sounds. Yeah, that'll do it, boys. If you have any questions, feel free to message. Cheers.